Hello students, in this video I'm going to show you how to take notes on Noodletools. So you're going to need to go into your project and this step is something that you want to do after you've created your works cited entry. So don't take notes on note cards until you have at least one entry. So when you have a works cited entry, when you have a source, create the works citation entry as I showed you in another video. If you have your source, then go ahead and start to take notes on them, and this is how you're going to take notes. Before you get started, you're going to need to annotate your source. So read through it, make sure you understand it. Write notes to yourself about your understanding of what you're reading. Okay, you can see that we've got sticky notes here that helped me to keep track of my thoughts as I read. I underlined and circled important ideas. So now when I'm ready to go take notes on this source, I don't have to reread the whole thing or try to understand it for the first time at the same time I'm taking notes. So it's much easier this way. Okay, so I have my source that I've annotated, and now I'm ready to take notes on it. Now you'll see I already have a couple of note cards from some other sources that I've used. I have one pile here that talks about the ways that cell phones are harmful, and now I'm ready to take notes on the other side of the issue about how they are healthy or can be helpful. So to create a note card, you're going to go over here to where it says New, and then it's going to open this up. So where it says title, you want to title your note card something about what the main idea is that you're going to be writing here. So in this particular note card, I really want to take notes and make sure that I remember this information here because I think it's really important. I want to use it in my paper. So this part of the source talks about how cyberbullying is not a separate problem from bullying. So that's what I'm going to type in the title. Cyberbullying is not different from regular bullying. Okay, so that's my title. The source, I want to connect this note card with the source so that I remember where I got this information. So that's why you have to create your works cited entry first so that you can link this note card with the source that I created earlier. The page number, you want to make sure that you enter the page number because you're going to need it when you're ready to write your paper. So this comes from page 47. So I'm going to write 47. And then here's where it's ready for a direct quotation. So what you want to make sure you do with the direct quotation is use quotation marks. And then you want to copy down the part of the source that you use that you think is really important, well said, something that you want to make sure that you bring up in your own paper. So I am going to write down this whole sentence that I underlined. I'm going to make sure that I put both the beginning and the end quotation marks because those tell me that it's something that I copied. Okay, and now we're ready to paraphrase. Okay, I'm going to put this idea in my own words. So in my own words, I would express this exact same idea maybe by saying something like, studies have shown that bullying happens in many ways, not just because of cell phones. Okay, so it's the same idea, but I've stated it with different words. You'll notice that I didn't just take out one punctuation mark or one word and call that my paraphrase or summary. I changed all the words, but it expresses the same idea. And then down here where it says my ideas, this is your original thinking. So ask yourself, how does this information fit in with what I already know? What do I wonder? What can you follow up on? So my original thinking, I'm going to connect this to some of the other note cards that I've written. And so I'm going to write on my paper, I can use this idea to support the side of the argument that thinks that cell phones don't add to our problems. Okay, so that's my idea. And there are a couple of other things that you can add, but you don't have to. So I'm going to save and close this note card. Okay, now it's going to come on top of this other one, so we need to, you can see that it's two separate note cards. But this note card and this note card are related because they're talking about generally the same thing, and I'm going to use them in the same part of my paper. So I want to keep this area pretty well organized, so I want to create a pile so that I can keep track of my note cards. So I'm going to move this and I'm going to put it right on top, and it's going to ask me for the name of the pile. So these note cards generally have to do with how cell phones are not a problem. So that's what I'm going to entitle the pile. So that I can keep track of my thinking. And so now all of those ideas are going to be in this pile. And that is how you take notes.